Hi folks, Mark Hoja here, and our favourite little fluffy character, Kiwi. Say hi to Kiwi. We have a question for you, and that question is, what do you know about present perfect tense? We don't need this, and we don't need Kiwi. So, present perfect tense is what I refer to as one of the three holy trinities in the English language. It's extremely important and it can be quite confusing. I know that many students struggle with this tense, and I think one of the main reasons is that it's not properly taught in schools or colleges, universities, or private classes, etc. So I'm going to try and remove some of the mysteries of this particular tense today. So let's see. Let's start with this picture. If you are working with me, you probably have this. If you don't have it, send me a message and I will send it to you. This is my way of looking at the differences between past tense and present perfect tense. And as you can see from my lovely decision tree, the key point is time. What I would encourage you to think about when you're speaking or writing, or even when you're listening and reading as well, just so you understand correctly what people are saying to you, is to think about, is time important to the conversation? Is when something happened of critical value? Say, for example, last year I traveled to Tokyo. The point here is I want to tell you that I did this 1 year ago, as well as what I did. However, if I say to you, yeah, I've been to Tokyo, then the main point is I have spent some time in Japan. We don't really care when I was in Japan, but it's important to let you know that I have seen that wonderful country, which is in fact a complete lie, and I would really love to see Japan. So if you have some spare cash, just send it to me and I'll spend it for you. So time, it's the key thing. So let's have a look here. Actually, I don't want to go through these. You can read these, and I'm sure you will see what I'm talking about. But one thing I do want to point out to you is these key words at the bottom. So quite often, if you want to use the word already, recently, or yet, then you should be automatically thinking has, have, verb 3, present perfect. And when I say verb 3, I mean, for example, verb 1, verb 2, verb 3, do, did, done. I have done my homework. Which, if you are my Turkish teacher, I may also be lying a little bit there, but I promise I'll do it. So they are a flag or a warning to remind you that you're probably going to be going to this side of the tree and use present perfect. Similarly, a go is going to be on the other side. Imagine someone saying to you, I have done a bungee jump ago. Ooh, does it sound horrible? Sounds horrible to me. Or if someone says to you, I already did a bungee jump in 2003. It might be okay, but it just doesn't sound so good. So they are flags. They're not 100% rules. Why? Think about for and since, which are used in the continuing forms. I have lived in Istanbul since 2011. So here the since is to talk about a from date. And for is to talk about a period of time. You probably already knew these because the continuing form is what people are confident in. So I have lived in Istanbul for 12 years. I think that's 12 years. So it's only a warning flag. Why? Because I can use for and since in other ways that are not related to present perfect tense. Pause the video here and think about which ways I can use it. See if you can find the answers. So hopefully you found out that for was something like, oh, I want to buy a present for you for your birthday. What would you like? Or I'm wearing a really warm jacket today since it's freezing outside. So those are the two main examples. Let's have a look at the two main uses. Now you can see here it has 3 uses, and the third one is about recently, but it's very similar to life experience. So these are the 2 main ones. Let's focus on these. Sorry about the bouncing up and down. It just means that I'm not very good at using my mouse. So life experience probably isn't the best title, but the main point that I want you to notice here is that when you look at the started and finished concepts on these timelines, that life experience works exactly the same as past tense. The only difference is we're not talking about when something happened, which is what we talked about before. So both tenses in this particular situation have the action has started and the action has finished. So I have been to Tokyo, we said before, well, it must be sometime in the past. It started and it finished. I'm not in Tokyo now. Similarly, I did my homework last Wednesday. So I probably started it on Wednesday and finished it on Wednesday. Then we have the continuing activity, which I'm sure you are probably already an expert at, because this is the one that teachers focus on in schools and confuse you terribly, because there is more than just this one use. But this is the one you're familiar with, and we've used a couple of examples here. But the key thing is that this started in the past, it's been continuing up to today, and most likely it will continue tomorrow. This is a very, very quick story about present perfect tense, which is a ridiculous title for a tense. But there you go, that's English for you. So hopefully it was useful to you. Hopefully it cleared up a few issues for you. What you will discover from experience is that it's not always clear when you should use the life experience one. This is the tricky one. Continuing activities is pretty easy for most people. So the one that you need to focus on is the life experience one, when something is finished. And I strongly encourage you to think about when you hear or see present perfect tense relating to life experience. If you see it or hear it, stop and think. Why did that person use that tense? Why didn't they use past tense? And the answer isn't always clear. There are some situations where we can use past tense without talking about the time. Yes, I did my homework. So just pay attention to it. And by doing that, you will be able to speak and write using these tenses much more efficiently. So that's it. I hope you are well, and good luck with all your English learning and whatever else you're working on.